Cheryl Nelson, my longtime friend and colleague, thank you so much for joining me today.
Erica, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and talk Weather Elevate with you.
So, Cheryl, why did you decide to go through the training to become FEMA certified in disaster preparedness? How did you develop this passion? Is it because of your meteorology background that you think you found your way to this?
It really is. I was on the air with my chief meteorologist in Norfolk, and we had tornado warnings coming out,
Mm.
one after another. And there was a strong EF3 tornado. And we were on the air for 5 hours straight. And after those 5 hours, our helicopter went up and we saw the first video from above. And it gave me chills up my spine. What if this had happened when everybody was home?
At like 5
What
p.m.
would have happened then? Yeah. So
2 hours
I don't
later.
know, that really got me interested more in preparedness. And I'm going, this is my mission. This is it. I got to make sure people are prepared and they know what to do to save lives and property.
When you're preparing to go out into the field for maybe blizzard coverage or a hurricane, how do you get into the right mindset for getting out there in the field?
Erica, that's a great question because you have to be ready and you have to be prepared. I mean, that's my motto, prepare with share. So the night before, if you even have that much notice that you're going to be going out and covering
Right.
a storm, one thing I
Right.
would say is try to get enough sleep, which I know is hard in this industry because in the media, we're working all these random shifts. But if you can, try to get lots of sleep. Also, be hydrated, drink plenty of water. You want to make sure that you're in tip top shape for being out in the elements. Now, once you're getting ready to go out there, this is not the time to make sure your hair is perfect, not the time to make sure you look super cute because, I mean, hey, we're real human beings. We're going out into the elements. So you got to make sure you have all the right gear. If you're going out to cover a blizzard, that might mean goggles, for example. Same thing with a hurricane. I know those are not sexy or cute by anyone's standards, but you might need them. One thing I think is key too is packing your disaster prep kit. When you're going out on the road, you don't know sometimes if you could get stranded somewhere.
Mhm.
What if you get stuck? Have everything you need with you in your vehicle. When it's cold, I always carry extra hand warmers. Make
Mhm.
sure you have those. Everything that goes into your disaster prep kit, the extra water, the protein bars, the safety kits, the flashlight, all that stuff that we tell you you need. Make sure you have one at all times in your vehicle as well. If you're traveling with a videographer from your station, bring your disaster prep kit. I know they might laugh at you and think you're crazy, but it's a great way to be prepared and make sure you're in that mindset.
Are there any other tips or advice that we didn't go over for staying safe in the
Yeah.
field,
Yeah.
keeping viewers safe?
Don't ever set up a live shot next to a busy street, for example, especially when it's wet or it's icy and cars could come sliding into the camera. We've seen that so many times
Yes.
in videos online, and we just don't want that to happen. So, safety always comes first. Stations will send somebody out in the car and say, okay, go tornado chase, go find the tornado. And they do this in areas where there are a lot of trees or there are rain wrapped tornadoes where those are common. That is so dangerous. And especially when they're sending people who are not necessarily trained to go chase. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm a meteorologist, you're a meteorologist. I wouldn't feel comfortable going out by myself
No,
in
me
an
either.
area with tons of trees to go find a
Nope.
tornado.
Yeah.
No, even though I understand them and know,
Yep.
I mean, don't be afraid to say no if you
Mhm.
don't feel safe. I would say too, one of those things is when you're out in the field, we talked about situational awareness, but if you ever see somebody who needs help, whether it be a man or woman on the street or even an animal, somebody who needs help, if you feel comfortable and it's safe to do so, I highly recommend getting trained in first aid, CPR from the Red Cross, and also Pet Tech. They offer pet first aid and CPR training. I'm actually certified in both. And it's one of those things where, you might end up being a first responder. And if you can't help, if it's not safe or you're not comfortable, always call 911. But that's one of those things you got to keep in the back of your mind as well.